Hi guys, once again, we are continuing on with our lesson for Unit 2. Lesson 2, Driving for Distance, Moving Forward and in Reverse. Note this will be the last set of questions that you'll have to answer after this video. And if you follow along with this section of video, you will be able to complete your flip project for today, the level 1 of our next challenge, the Castle Crasher Playground. Note, to keep this organized, I am going to put level 1 in a separate one, and then higher levels, higher achievements will be in the next ones. But let's go ahead and dive into this lesson. In this lesson, you will create VexCode VR projects that use forward and reverse drivetrain commands to knock down the first castle in the Castle Crasher Playground. Note that the first castle is outlined in a red line. The learning outcomes for this lesson are to identify how to use the drive for block to drive the VR robot a specific distance, identify how to change the parameters in the drive for block to move the VR robot forward and reverse, identify how to use the set drive velocity block to set the speed of the drivetrain, and identify the range of values used in the set drive velocity block. First things first, create a new project. A VexCode VR project must be created in order for a VR robot to move forward, in order to collide with the first castle in the Castle Crasher Playground, then drive in reverse to review or return to the starting position. Follow these steps to create a new VexCode VR project. First, launch VexCode VR at vr.vex.com. Once you launch VexCode VR, a new project will automatically start. Name your project. To name your project, select the project name box. This is also outlined in red. Enter the new project name, Unit 2, Lesson 2, and select Save. Drive forward and in reverse. Use the drive for block to program a VR robot to move forward to knock over the first castle on the Castle Crasher Playground. Drag the drive for block into the workspace and place under the when started block. Select the Open Playground button to launch the Castle Crasher Playground if it is not already open. Check to make sure that the Castle Crasher Playground is open. If a different playground opens, change the Castle Crasher Playground. To change playgrounds, select the Select Playground button. This is outlined in red below. Select the Castle Crasher in the Select Playground menu, and select the Start button to test the project. The VR robot will drive forward for 200 millimeters on the Castle Crasher Playground. Note that the VR robot did not touch the center castle. The parameters in the drive for block need to be adjusted so that the VR robot can drive further. Select the Reset button to reset the playground and move the VR robot back to the starting position. The VR robot did not touch the center castle in the last project. It needs to travel farther. Adjust the forward parameters, test it, and watch the VR robot knock over the center castle. Set the distance the VR robot will move by entering the value 800 in the drive for block. For your information, the drive for block can accept decimals, integers, or numerical blocks. The units can also be changed from millimeters to inches. When you're ready, click Start, and then the VR robot will collide with the center castle and knock parts of it over. Select the Reset button to reset the playground. The VR robot now needs to return to the starting position, so use an additional drive for block and change the parameters to make it drive in reverse to return it to the starting position. Add a second drive for block to the VexCode VR project and change the directions from forward to reverse. As you can see here in red outline, make sure that the distance values is the same as the first drive for block, 800 millimeters, in order for it to return to the starting point. Select the Start button and run the project. The VR robot will move forward and backward for 800 millimeters, returning to the starting position. Note you have successfully completed the first part of the Castle Crashers challenge, even if all 4 parts of the Cinder Castle are not completed, completely knocked over. If they are slightly displaced, that is acceptable. To make a VR robot drive forward or reverse at different speeds, the drive velocity can be increased or decreased using the set drive velocity block. The set drive velocity block accepts a range from 0 to 100%. The default velocity is 50%. Changing velocity will apply to any subsequent drivetrain commands. To save your project, select Save to your device in the File drop-down menu. My suggestion is to put your name in the name, the naming, the project you guys just made, and continue to use this same computer. Once you have saved it, the project should appear in the Downloads folder of your device as a .vr block file. Okay, now take a couple moments, answer this last question, then you're going to work on your flip, recreating this level 1 of Castle Crashers.